Hi everyone, my name is Marilyn Crump and thank you for being a part of our group Creatives and Dreamers. So this is very exciting and I thank you for being a part of this. This is a video series. This is video number 1 out of many to come in order to help you be successful in your goals and your dreams. My name is Marilyn Crump and I am your expert dream catcher. What that means is I'm here to lend you different knowledge, different advice in order for you to be successful. And I use the word dream to help organize all those thoughts. So dream stands for direction, relinquish, efficiency, action, and momentum. So with all those things combined, you really have a nice solid plan in order for you to achieve all the things that you want. Isn't that great? So before, it would be one of those things where I do want something to happen. I'm a very positive person, but I never felt like I was taking the right steps in order to do all that. So with intense research and just being open to amazing possibilities that come through in life, I was able to figure out that every time I did achieve something, it was because I did things in a certain order. And for me, I love dream catchers. So it's always been a really nice symbol. I just liked just the design of it. Really what it stood for was like to catch dreams and help filter out the bad ones and you keep the good ones. So I always found that emblem to be super empowering. And then one time I was just sitting there going, well, if I could be anything in life, what would I want to be? And what really gets me super excited and passionate is helping other people. And one of the things that we've been doing at the studio is having a power talk, and usually that talk is centered around all the dream goals that we have. And so I always joked to myself going, okay, well, if I'm like the dream catcher in this discussion, I would be filtering out the not good thoughts and really letting through all the amazing thoughts and positive thinking that should be happening. So I've already been doing it, and our company's been around since 2000, and it's been super exciting. It's grown as far as like what we do as a service and just how we impact the community, and I'm always excited to meet new people. And this is just my way of giving back even more, because I would love to be surrounded by a ton of creatives and dreamers and people who are just like working hard, so that not too hard, working on their dreams, and that they're just smiling, right? Wouldn't you love a world that you step out in and everybody's just happy and greeting you with smiles and ready to help you? So that's really the big goal here, and I hope that you are in here for that spirit, and we are definitely here to support you. And so let's start. Now, we are on Monday, and so our discussion is going to be centered around direction. Direction is simply that. Where do you want to go? What do you want to happen? And since this is the beginning of the year for me, some people, you could start your beginning of the year whenever. You don't have to wait till January 1st. So you're not behind if you haven't already figured stuff out for the year. But I like to start right before the year begins with my planner. So here's my 2018 planner. And I really love to be able to go ahead and map out the year by distinguishing which weeks I do certain things. And if you've been in Power Talk recently, you've heard me say this to you already. What I do is it's fascinating. I cut up a piece of paper, I cut it in half, and what you end up with a pile of 52 little squares and 12 little squares. The reason why I use those numbers, and it's clean, and that piece of paper breaks down to that much, it's super awesome. Take the 12, put it in one stack. That represents your months. 52 represents the weeks in the year. And so, as with anything that you want to do and achieve differently, you're going to have to spend a lot more time and focus on that new thing. So for me, it's these videos and it's these online resources that I'm going to be providing for my clients. And so when it is going to be approached, I have to look at it as how many weeks do I put towards this effort out of the 52. So if you look at a scale, you have to balance things out Meaning if you balance things out, you're kind of remaining the same, correct? What you have to do is tip it. You have to tip it towards what you want. And so what I did was I took the 52 little squares and divided it up. I put a stack of 30, and then I put the other 22 on the other side. So that already gave me a tipping point. And what I said was, I'm going to take this stack of 30, go ahead and put it towards this new focus of online course creation and then online resources to be able to take my company into that direction. Now the other portion is going to be subdivided into family priorities and other things that I'm already maintaining. So I go ahead and take those weeks first because those have definite weeks, if that makes sense, because one would be for Christmas, one would be for summer break, 4th of July week. We love to do things as a family. We're going on a cruise, so we got to put that week aside. Other weeks so that spring break, anything that the kids have on their calendar, I have 5 kids by the way, I have to make sure that it's in there and it's set in stone because they are priority number 1. So priority number 1 is taken care of. Usually that lands to about like 12 weeks already taken care of, which from that pile leaves me another like, a good set so that I can move those towards the family or towards the business or something else that I want to do. Like if I want to host a retreat or if there's a very special client that I need to be focusing on for that week, then I'll go ahead and label that. Now, where the other 30 is, I don't have them preset in the calendar when I first start because remember, that other pile gets prioritized first. There will be some left over from that pile because I'm just not sure yet where I want to take that direction. And so what I do is once I put all those things down, so if you look at here, last week of school, that's really a week dedicated to my kids. But this calendar is really neat because it labels every week by number. So then I can sorry, this is all nerdy ways to do it, but I just wanted to tell you that it's really fun. I jot down the numbers. Anyway, long story short, I end up filling my whole calendar. See the blue lines? Those are all the themes for the week and what I'm going to concentrate on. Now, does it mean that I don't concentrate on anything else? Of course not. It's just going to be the majority of my time. I'm trying to create a tipping point in my life so that I can say all like this concentration is gonna have to go somewhere, circle back around to a reward for my life. Because if you work on something and you concentrate the right efforts on it and you can't just leave it up in the dream sphere of nothingness in a way, you're bringing it down to your reality. This is one of the things that I love to do and it works great because then all my weeks are accounted for. There is no space for other things that I might have to react to that isn't going to serve me, if that makes sense. So I'm already kind of saying to the universe that here it is. I would love for this to happen on this week and I would love to get things like moving in that direction so that my concentration's there. I'm open to intuition for that certain thing. And then for other things, yes, there's space for it. So if I'm looking at my week, in order to make that particular attention happen, I have to look at the week as well as a tipping point. So we're in the beginning of this week right here. You don't see any blue lines yet, but you see that there's these blue lines in my other week. What I do is kind of take a marker and draw how much time has gone by. So if I'm here and if I have my blue marker, you'll see that we'll start drawing this line here. That just shows me how much time I have left in the day. Better to make me say, have I been concentrating on what that theme is that I want? And then if I'm successful in that day and I'm successful the next day of using a lot of my intuition and concentration towards the thing that I want to achieve for the week, then I'm doing pretty good. Then I'm creating that tipping point. So you might be asking, how would I know what to write down and what is it that I really want to do in my life? So maybe before you do all what I just said for the calendar, you might want to take a moment and create a vision board. For me, I create vision books and here's my gratitude journal. And so what I did was I just took a weekly planner And I love this because it has space for me to write down on each day the things that I'm grateful for. And it already has the dates for me, so I don't have to spend time writing that. But it's fun because on the front part of it, I have some clippings of things that were really resonating in what I wanted to achieve. And so I use the back pages. I use this page. You can use a vision board any which way you want. Like if you want something hanging on your wall, you can do that. If you are like me, I visit this book daily, and I'm able to just flip through the different pages and see what's in there. And let it kind of sink in and resonate so that I remember exactly why I cut it out. If you need a vision board tutorial, I do have one on my website, so if you go to marilyncrump.com, you'll be able to see it there. But really what it is so that you can say, this is what I want to order up in my life. And these are the things that are just going to make me blissfully happy and super excited and give me a purpose for why I'm going to do the things that I do. So once you have that purpose, you should write it down. It could be a part of another journal. I am always writing things down. I have my notebook just for notes. I have, if you ever see me, I'm carrying a lot of things down. This is my planning sheets, stuff like that. And look, it's in a protective case because I love it. I love it so much. Okay, so my, it's not in front of me, but I have my other journal. So when I'm working on things like this, I can put it down in there. And also, the direction really comes from, who do you want to be? Like if you can define who you are gonna be, who you are right now, what is that? What does that look like? And then we can put things in our calendar that will help shape us. And I even took the time and drew myself out. I made a chart of myself. So here's what happened. I was going through a crazy time after my divorce from my first marriage. And partly I was to blame because I had no direction and sense of what I wanted in a partner, in a relationship. So one day I was just saying, okay, I can't mess around with life anymore. I need to know exactly who I should be ending up with. And this is before I knew all this positive thinking stuff. I mean, literally, I just like to draw. So I drew out this guy and I labeled all the little things, like just someone like you saw of me, every little thing. And it was really fascinating because people would come pretty close, but then things would happen and it wasn't meant to be, and it was okay. By the time I met my husband, I had forgotten about the little list. We were so awesome friends that, you know, it was already fun to begin with. I wasn't too worried anyway. 6 months later, after we've been dating for a while, I found the list again, and I was like, should I even look at it? Because I like this guy. What if he's not what I wrote on my list? So I decided, yeah, okay, I'll look at it and just see. So I'm looking at it and I'm checking things off, and wouldn't you know it, my husband is 100% of what's on that list, and he still is 100% of what's on that list, and it's amazing. I think what happened was I was resonating with it, but I also was defining what I really wanted, and that I knew that I didn't have to settle anymore, because settling gets you into situations that's going to make you unhappy and unfulfilled. And I knew I was young enough to keep driving forward, but I needed a direction. I'm a planner, so that helped me plan. So automatically there, it gave me a good direction to find out what I want. So now when it comes to my life now, I needed to chart myself out. And you know what? I made little lists of things that I wanted to do, but this year I went all out. And I said, if I can attract my husband, the one who's 100%, I should be able to attract me, who I'm developing to be 100%. So there's still some edges that I'm trying to, you know, smooth down and really make it super succinct with the future that I want to create, not just for me, but for my company and for my family. So I really defined that out, and I'm just very excited that this year this is going to help me, give me that sense of really awesome direction, and then I can help share it with you as well. So that's the whole goal. As I figure things out, I'm here to share it with you. And if you need one-on-one time with me, I'm available. I have different people working on different things. You tell me what you're working on, and there's probably a way that we can work together on it. So, right? So that's that. For your assignment right now, I want you to chart yourself out like I just did. You don't have to draw anything. I would just say, this is me 100%. And then you can say, I am this, I am that, I am this, I am that. Write it all down. Even if you don't believe it yet, just write it down. This is the direction you want to take. And then if you want to experiment with my 52-week calendar thing, the little squares for the 12 months, what I just did was I put down fun numbers that would be great monthly financial goals for me. And so I didn't even particularly say which month. I'll probably do that pretty soon, but it'd just be fun to see those numbers pop up in my life. That's going to be super exciting and maybe bigger than I ever thought before. That's really what I'm working on. I'm always happy to share. So you can respond back here in the group, or you can respond to me in an email. Send me an email to info@marilyncrump.com, or you could let's see how else you can do this. So you can send me an email, you could post it here, you could set up a meeting with me and we'll go over some stuff. Oh, you can come to our online Power Talk, which is the second and fourth Wednesday of every month. And if you go to artinspired.com, you'll be able to register there. Also, we have a live Power Talk every Saturday at 9:30 a.m. at the studio in Newport News. So I hope to hear from you, hope to see you, and hopefully this helped you today. The next day we're going to talk about relinquishing, okay? So let me know if this helped you out at all, how you're liking this video, should we keep going with it? Yes. And other things that you want to learn about and achieve, okay? So I'll see you later.